It was really rough. I did attempt suicide back in 2008 because I was at rock bottom. When I first come home, it was kind of rough. I didn't know what was going on. Didn't know who to turn to. Was scared to talk to anybody. Really nervous of the way I acted. Didn't like going out because I was in fear. Uh, there was a lot of days that my anger was so severe that I would take and have 2 or 3 days where I just go camping in the backyard just to give my wife relief.
Thank you. Thank you for your service, brother. Ultimately, thank you for our freedoms. And that conversation we had, I'll never forget that conversation that we had. We had a couple conversations. So Cory raised his hand. I've been sending him text messages where he is in Ripley. Doesn't have very good cell phone service. We've just been texting back and forth. Every single assignment, Cory, I gave you. You did it. That's why I believe in you. That's why our foundation believes in you. That's why this country believes in you. And know that this is the first day of the rest of your life. We will never leave you. As you went from 05, 07 with no help, no assistance. We are here for you to death do us part, brother. We are now forever married as one to do God's will. That's truly what I believe in my heart of hearts. We are not here for ourselves, we're here for the collective, and that's why we signed that piece of paper. And that enlistment does not end with our service. It'll never end. And I know you'll continue to serve the people of your community, to show them what's possible if you keep moving forward. You fight through the limited thoughts of our mind and push through all the pain. So thank you, brother. Welcome.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate everything that's being done. It's been hard for the last few years. Not just with me, it's also been with my wife. I mean, she's been my caretaker since I've been home. So, I mean, it's even hard on her. And there's even days that she says it's harder to take care of me than it was for me to serve this country. So, I mean, it's a challenge. It's been one day at a time, listening to the VA, which is not really the best health care in the world. From being through electric convulsive therapy to individual therapy for my PTSD. It's been a really rough time for these last 16 years. So I appreciate everything that anybody does.
Yeah, brother. So let's talk a little about, you shared with me about 05 to 07. You were going through the PTSD, we were going through all those treatments, and you're going through all these surgeries. You had 6 shoulder surgeries, both rotator cuffs were torn in the rollover of the vehicle. You were hit by the roadside bomb in Iraq. And you fought another 30 days as a combat medic supporting your brothers and sisters over there in arms. And then you said, I just can't take the pain anymore. I have to get this checked out. And then when you realized what really happened, and then they gave you 100% disability from the United States Army. And then you came back home, and then as a man, we want to support our families, right? So at a soul level, that's what we're here. We're caregivers, we're providers, and we're here to serve our family. And then you divorced your wife because you felt like you weren't enough to support her. What was that like, knowing that you were fighting all by yourself? You're bringing this, what we call as military guys, we're burdening other people. It said, we just rather go off into the woods and die instead of having to burden you because I'm not deserving of this. What was those feelings like to be out there, the lone wolf that David Fusco was talking about, and fighting the demons in your head, there's the surgeries and your physical limitations, and then there's your beautiful wife that you care so much about, and you feel helpless and you can't support her. She's taking care of you.
It was really rough. I did attempt suicide back in 2008 because I was at rock bottom. When I first come home, it was kind of rough. I didn't know what was going on. Didn't know who to turn to. Was scared to talk to anybody. Really nervous of the way I acted. Didn't like going out because I was in fear. There was a lot of days that my anger was so severe that I would take and have 2 or 3 days where I just go camping in the backyard just to give my wife relief and to get away from everything, from anything that could trigger me. And I didn't know that they were actual triggers. When I got started in the VA and everything, and they took and told me that I had PTSD and that it was such a severity that I couldn't even work. So at age 27, I was told that I couldn't even hold a job anymore, that I was unemployable, which carried me even more of a depression state because I lost my house, I lost my vehicles, so I couldn't support my wife, so I let her go. And because I thought it was better for her to go without me than it was to take and go through what I was going through. And it took me over a year to take and figure out that she was actually there for me. She was actually trying to understand it, even though she didn't know what was going on. So it was a never-ending battle. It's still a never-ending battle. I have days, I have weeks sometimes that I don't even know who I am anymore. I mean, it just something from a smell to a sound that may send me back to a different place, that it takes me sometimes a little while to take and comfort myself, to take and get my feet back under me. It's been really hard to my wife, because she's had to be a caregiver, and she's had to learn how to take care of me when I'm in those states. And it's not always the same. So she's always learning just like I am.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for not giving up, and know that 2008 was not your time. I think that we all have gone to a dark place at one point or another in our lifetimes, but for what you guys saw and what you went through, it's you can't explain this to anybody. And I felt that in our conversation the other day, and I was just like, how many more Corys are out there right now? And most of us, like I said, in the military, we don't raise our hand. Especially as a man in the military, we don't raise our hand for help. Like you said, you wanted to just go off and die and let my wife live a peaceful life. I don't want her to be a burden on my wife. She says, no, Cory, I will stand by your side. She continues to stand by your side. So know that with our foundation and some of the systems that we're implementing, you're never going to be alone again. You're forever part of our family. And I will definitely get on some training calls to help you guys understand some of the stuff that we're going through and tap more into that spiritual realm of who we are as a people, because the human mind, all it wants to do is help us survive. And that place is very dark. We call that mind sometimes the imposter. He's always sabotaging our growth, sabotaging who we can become, sabotaging any thoughts of peace and happiness based upon our past experience, right? So as we let go of the experiences of our past and become the observer, so we pull ourselves out of that experience, become the observer, now we become the experiencer. So that's what I was saying, today is the first day of the rest of your life, brother. You're gonna have guys around you that have gone through some of the stuff that you went through. You're gonna have some people that you start supporting, whether it's just on a phone call or a simple conversation, that you're gonna make an impact in another brother's life. As I started this Facebook Live today, that's the first thing I said, we can impact one person. So if Cory can impact one person out there listening to this message, somebody out there listening to Cory's story, this can assist you, raise your hand. We cannot assist you if we don't know who you are. And I know, like I said, we don't want to ask for help. We were told men don't cry, they provide for their families, and many men lie in a cemetery today because they had so much pride, they left behind a legacy that was never fulfilled. So I know that as Cory goes forward on this journey, and as you guys support Cory and his beautiful wife Renee on this journey, to be a welcome back home, to live in peace in this forever home, we thank you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your prayers and your donations. Like this out, share this out, tell as many people as possible that you can tell. All the great people of Clapper, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as you see this, even though Cory will be in his forever home by this time, so for some of you to watch this, there's many more soldiers, first responders, airmen, sailors, Marines that fight the good fight in the Coast Guard every day for our freedoms, that we don't see it. And if we don't see it, how do we know about it? So thank you, brother. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for raising your hand and doing the work. So we call it in our brotherhood, doing the work. And I gave you the assignments and you just kept doing it. And I kept telling Nick, I said, Nick, this guy doesn't, he's relentless. He don't give up. Every time I give him a mission, do this, do that, he did every single one of it. And that's what I'm going to teach. So if you're a veteran listening to this message and you want to learn how you can help people like Cory, reach out to me. I am teaching veterans how to do real estate investing for free. It's not going to cost you 1 red cent, with the intention to help another brother or sister, another first responder. I have 20 years of knowledge and wisdom to share with you, so you can go out there and just continue to serve. Because I know if you signed up and you raised your right hand, serve this country, the calling's much bigger than you, me, Cory. It's us, it's all of us, rising as one to make a difference and end the suffering for our veterans, our first responders, and all God's children.